This is the music video editor of Jisoo Earthquake, Luis Carraza.
Hi everyone, how's it going? Happy to be here.
He's edited some of the best music videos on the planet, and we're so lucky to get inside his brain to be able to see how he crafted this masterpiece. Sweet. All right, here we go.
Let's do it. For the first, I would say, minute or so, we have a very cinematic intro, very performance-heavy video later on. So it was important for us to create a story that was impactful and that drew you in from the beginning. This is a constructed set. My friend Alex Delgado built this.
No. Let's go, Alex.
Yeah, so it's, regular office day. And then she gets a text. In that moment, there's the earthquake sort of starts. I built that sound of the earthquake. Just needed to create some sort of a sense of danger.
There's so much sound. What the heck?
What the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah. I think there's siren even that I put in there to make it seem like there's an actual earthquake.
It's funny how sometimes you want to put in things that don't even really make that much sense in sound design layering. It's like, why am I putting in like this dog toy squeaking? Like just like something random that doesn't really make sense. But it's like once it's layered in there, it kind of adds to the whole thing.
Yeah, I lived in Mexico for most of my life, and earthquakes are a big thing there. There's a very specific sound that you hear. There's sirens that they put in every single street corner, and so whenever there's even a little bit of an earthquake, you hear the sirens, and everyone goes outside. Wow. And it's similar to what you hear here.
So you have life experience to tie to that.
The more you experience, the better an editor you can be, or an artist in general.
That's bars right there. That's so true.
And I think for the text, we wanted to have something that was vague and at the same time, something that you would receive and feel like, oh, this is turning into something serious. Maybe this could be a relationship, or maybe not. We're seeing sort of those beginnings when there's butterflies in the stomach.
It's very relatable. Oftentimes I can personally relate to those first like flirty texts where it's like, oh, okay,
yeah.
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
We also have some students here from my mentorship program hanging out with us, asking questions. So we may answer some in this episode. Luis is also very gracious enough to be one of our industry mentors, to hop on some of our coaching calls and be in our community. So thank you, Luis, for being able to do that. That is so kind of you. Honestly, I really wish I had access to people like you when I was starting out, for sure. So
My pleasure.
Also, if you're interested in learning more about the mentorship program, you can just check out the link in the description. Woo! What a transition. That's crazy.
There's so much gravitas to this scene. By the way, it's me making the sounds of the Ziploc bag.
No way.
I think Ivan, our post supervisor, was the one grabbing the phone. It's very different from the previous earthquake sounds. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so crispy. How did you record that?
I think on my phone. I think it's from either my iPhone or from the Mac Studio microphone.
That's all you need, guys. You just need your phone, and you're a sound designer. The whip pan transitions too are delicious right here.
Yeah. I mean, that's all in camera. That's, no post effects there. Just, a little bit of cross-dissolving, I think is what I did in the offline. But yeah, that's all. Anatol Trofimov is our DP, and he's got a very intense sort of way that he shoots. He worked with Christian and myself previously on the We Can't Be Friends video. Okay. And he's a legend.
This is some of the best shot stuff I've seen in a while.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have this actor who was incredible, and I think he elevates the whole piece by a lot. Same thing that happened with the Ariana videos that I did previously. It's just like having one actor. I mean, Ariana Grande, of course, is an amazing actress, but just having an actor that people recognize just elevates the music video a ton and makes people realize like, oh, this is not just a small TikTok viral video or something. This is an actual cinematic experience that you sit down and it tells you a story, and it's a great way to introduce a big new part of an artist's life.
I so wish I could watch this in a theater so badly.
문자에 답변하시기 전에 몇 가지 보안 질문을 좀 해야겠습니다.
Oh, the Department of Heart Security.
Heart Security.
That's so good. And Jisoo's acting is pretty pretty
그
great
남자에
too.
대한 당신의 진짜 마음은 뭡니까?
So for this shot, that shot, what are your true feelings for him? That shot's actually tilted a little bit. It's rotated because he sits up very straight. Like he's looking at her, but it didn't seem like it had the gravitas that I needed. I needed a little bit more intensity. So I was just like, okay, let's rotate the shot a little bit, just to make it seem like he's going like this and really leaning in to get the answer out of her.
그 남자에 대한 당신의 진짜 마음은 뭡니까?
That's crazy. I never would have noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you pointed that out. That's crazy. What?
We have maybe 10 minutes of footage from the lie detector, the polygraph.
Yeah.
Just going. It's VFX, so the actual blue lines and the red lines were not in camera. Those were all added.
Yep.
It wasn't really writing anything.
So the lines are actually VFX, all of them?
The lines are VFX, and I think the metal bits were taken out and then put back in just to make it seem a little more.
Right. So it actually matches up.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
It's me like an earthquake. The better get my heart race.
Oh, the camera shakes. Are these all in camera, like the shakiness?
Yes, that's all in camera.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm still up, yeah. I think I'm
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. That is so nuts.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I mean, first you get, I think, a super sick close up of Jisoo. I mean, she's beautiful, gorgeous. It feels super powerful. And all of a sudden, the focus turns on her. It's like she's grabbing back that agency because she was taken away from her spot. She receives that text and she doesn't know what to do with it. And this is like her reclaiming her ground and like stating her feelings and
Got you.
starting to deal with this anxiety of love. It's such a grabbing of control that she drives a car through the wall. We reveal later that she's the one actually driving that car. But for me, that's a representation of the text going into your phone, being like, hey, well, what are your true feelings? It's a car rushing through a concrete wall. And it just, takes you by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what the song's talking about. Like, it literally hits you like an earthquake. So it's like a perfect representation of it. And I noticed on this car hit specifically, there's a massive speed ramp. Tell me about that decision.
I think it's something like 240 frames per second or maybe 1,000 frames per second.
Oh my.
So of course, if I just let the shot play as is, this video would be longer than the 4 minutes and 24 seconds. I think it might be a little faster than real time at first, and then it just really slows down. It's a moment to just like relish in the VFX a little bit, let the VFX company, Biz Digital, do their thing. The shot's pretty long. I think it might be the longest shot in our edit.
That was probably one of my favorite cuts too. Just on the vroom, 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 vroom. You just show her just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. And that was super important for us. She doesn't care about the car that's going in front of her because that's her driving it. She's looking like a badass.
Yeah.
And then this guy is getting absolutely wrecked.
Yeah. This guy's getting
in
destroyed.
the foreground.
That sound is so good. Did you record this like?
I think actually, it might be me being like, I can't remember exactly what it might be being like, and then just adding a reverb to it, low pass, just to make it seem sort of far away and not on your face.
Luis is the best actor. He's the best voice actor I've ever heard in my life.
A lot of editing is just Foley. It's just like you screaming into your phone late at night. You also need to know when to start adding sound design so that it doesn't mess up your edits, because you can fall in love with an edit just by adding a lot of sound design, but it should be the other way around. First fall in love with your edit and then start adding sound design to make it really powerful on top of that. For this scene, the most important thing was showing a sense of speed.
Yeah.
Any camera trick that you see here is definitely an edit.
Wow, okay. That's amazing that I can't tell the difference. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, okay, was that in camera? Was that, because I know it really helps to create speed, like especially if a runner's running or if anything that's happening fast, You want to create that like vibration.
Anything that gets you in the headspace of the main character,
Right.
is good.
The car sounds are so good too. I also love that you saw her flying at the words, but you didn't see her, like we were on a close-up of her as she flies through the words.
It's more about how she feels when she sees the anxieties that she has. It's about seeing how she deals with them and how she really doesn't care. She just drives through. She's just like wrecking them.
heart race. hormon이 떨려 can't stand.
And then you get the satisfying, you get that satisfaction right there, seeing the second one.
You had to see it at least once. Of course, this whole scene was shot in front of a green screen. Everything you see was recreated in VFX, of course. We didn't make huge words and a huge racetrack.
Are you serious? This is not real? The concept is so abstract yet relatable, which I love.
Super relatable. I mean, it's in every single relationship, it's a give and take a little bit of like, yeah, I'm sure about this, but also I feel so much anxiety about everything that's going on. And like, what if I'm wrong? What if I don't love them? What if they don't love me back?
Exactly.
Are they thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about them? Yeah, the concept that Christian made was just
beautiful. The through the window shots are crazy. I will have to say I've never seen a lie detector test performance.
no.
That's a first.
I know. I mean, it looks so silly in my rough comp for the offline. I just took the shot of the lie detector, keyed them out on the green screen, and placed them on top of the lie detector. It looked so silly in my rough comp. Abyss actually had the amazing idea, I thought, of adding this glass sort of plastic situation on top of the polygraph, because otherwise it would be moving forward with the piece of paper. As I thought it was a fantastic solve.
That's genius.
We start to get here into Korean versus American sensibilities. They want to see the formation of people, and they want to see it as straight on as possible. Angles like this one, the overhead high, is something that maybe is not preferred as much. Things like close-ups, shots from the side, where you can't really tell the formation of the dance, not as preferred. It's these moves where you can see the choreo. I mean, it's always a learning curve, getting a new client and figuring out what they want and giving them exactly that. They want it front and center.
That's
literally.
So interesting. I love it. Every single project that I do personally, I always learn something and I can apply it to the next project.
And that's what keeps it fresh. You never get really tired of editing as a whole, because every project is completely new.
Exactly. So she was cooking so much on her text back, it literally flies into the wall. Oh my.
There's a force, we don't know what force it is, but something's keeping her from texting back. Just can't quite seem to actually send the text. We're still, seeing her internal struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
And then of course we go into this Moko shot. I added some push-ins and pull-outs. Like here, I get super close to her.
Yep.
And then I zoom out, and then she goes away.
Because it matches really well. Like they did such a good job on that match cut.
They added some cracks to the wall as well.
Okay.
Just to fill up the frame a little bit, make the composition a little bit more interesting.
Right.
Now you're going around her with the camera, and you're seeing that destruction of the car.
Yes. Nuts. How did you guys do that shot? That shot blew my mind. It's just the background is so motion blurred, it almost looks like a hyperlapse.
It might be hyperlapse, but obviously we have two shots. We have Jisoo sitting in front of a green screen or a blue screen, just going like this.
Oh, okay.
And then we have this shot through the office. That's probably shot low frame rate, and we just...
That makes sense. I actually thought it was all one shot. I thought this was in camera. So that's where my mind got broken.
The VFX are so good that when I saw this just now, I was like, yeah, this is all. They just put a camera in front of Jisoo. They just dragged her through the whole office. But
Yeah,
no, that would
yeah,
be
that's what I
extremely
thought.
dangerous at this high speed.
Right. But yeah, I think right here is kind of what gives it away, where this person walks across. Like it looks like they would run right into Jisoo. That part,
Lots happening there. Lots
so
happening there.
that part is so good.
Starting here, you see again a callback to the ceiling in the interrogation room a little
Yep.
bit, and you're now everything's shaking. It's ready to just.
That desk explosion is nuts.
The desk explosion, obviously, Inception was a reference. You know, when they're in Paris and the dream is collapsing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then here are the flashes. That's something that you and I were talking about.
Yeah,
a
we were
couple
just talking
weeks back,
about this.
For the roasts. Yeah, I fell in love with these flashes. It's just like an adjustment layer that I put in between two cuts, and it's like over 6 frames. And there's
Yeah.
a keyframe on the first frame, keyframe on the third frame, and keyframe on the 6th frame. And in the middle frame, that's where the exposure goes up. I just put a lumetri color effect.
Yeah.
And I crank up the exposure to the max, which I think is like 7.
You should make that a preset and then sell it.
I should.
Luis Flash's trademarks.
Because I always do the same thing. It's like muscle memory how I make
Yeah.
those kinds of things. It's muscle memory how I make my reverb ringouts.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
you get the audio clip, you get a little part of it, you put it all the way over there, you nest the whole thing. Then you
I do
drop in
the same
reverb.
thing. Are you serious?
Yeah. It seems so silly. I mean, you should just drop in the reverb and then be
I
like,
know.
okay, extend now.
You have to do this workaround.
Yeah. It's so silly.
Oh, I feel so seen right now. Wow.
Someone really quickly asked if the whole sequence music video was assembled first before VFX was added. And yes, the edit was locked before VFX was added.
How long was this from start to finish, do you think?
I think they shot this right before Thanksgiving or right over
Okay.
Thanksgiving break.
Yeah. Now that you said that, they want to stay straight on, was there a lot of other options of like not straight on shots here?
Yeah, we had to cut to them at
Yeah.
some point, and you see them almost as flashes. We can't just cut from the same shot to the same shot.
Right.
It would look like a jump cut.
Right.
Well, it's crazy. We had a person on set with a bag of paper on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just like throwing paper the whole time. No, it's VFX. The piece of paper are all VFX.
The amount of VFX work in this is dumb.
Insane, right?
Absolutely crazy.
We prioritize this sort of wide that goes in and out, and it gives this sequence a lot of its intensity, the speed.
Yeah.
And then for specific moments, like we just get closer for this, kinds of things.
Yep.
Just places where we want to add a little emphasis, we go in.
It feels good, man. It feels so smooth. It feels so smooth.
It does. Yeah, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my god, that was a lot of work. I think the one scene where we went back and forth the most.
Okay.
Just making sure that everything was exactly as it was choreographed. And I had from the beginning, I asked my assistant editors, I asked for the choreo rehearsal to be at the bottom of the lineup so that every performance shot was synced exactly to the rehearsal, because
Wow.
it's the rehearsal and it's a single shot, a single wide that shows everything super cleanly. But even then there were like little moments that were a little bit off that of course artists and team caught. They were able to see like a frame, this is a frame off.
Wow.
Can we just
Really?
clock it left or clock it right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the camera spinning as she's talking about spinning. That's such great directing.
I feel like the first 70% of an edit, maybe 80%, anyone can do pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
And it's that last 20% that just can take weeks or
Yes.
months even to like really perfect, but it's what really separates
Yeah.
a good video from a great video.
Were those punch-ins on those beats intentional, or is that something that you added?
It's something that I added.
I felt
To
so
add a little
good.
bit more tension.
Yeah.
Just-
Usually that would never work. Like usually that would feel so horrible, but in that moment with
Yeah.
that part of the song, it feels perfect.
It's something that Christian in general stays away from. Jump
Yeah.
cuts. Whenever there's a jump cut in an edit, he doesn't even have to tell me anymore. He's like,
He's
but we needed a little bit more tension here, a little bit just to show that it's she's in danger or something's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It hits me like an earthquake.
And the little ticks of the clock too in that space felt so intense. Like I actually felt like there was a lot of stakes there because of the way,
Yeah.
like the boom and then the cha, and there's like some reverb on it. The sound is so good, Luis. Like I have to tell you, like the sound design, those little details like make such a big difference, bro.
They do, especially for these moments where picture-wise we might not have a lot going on, but you need to feel something. That's when sound really comes in clutch, because
It hits me like an earthquake.
Yeah, come
you
on.
need that sort of like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? It's almost like a riser. And someone asked if the heart bomb is VFX, and it is. We had a heart bomb that was not as very menacing or cool looking, so we replaced it with VFX.
I've also never seen a phone keyboard performance shot.
I know, it's insane how they come up with these things.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Abyss did such a good job making it feel like a macro lens where like the depth of field is so shallow.
You can tell that they let us play a little bit more with shots that weren't looking at that lineup straight on, played a little bit with rotation. It's the craziest part of the video, and we need to really throw everything,
Yeah.
even the sync, at it. Yeah, and one idea was to show that top angle only at the end to reveal that it's a phone.
But you did kind of do that where you didn't really show what was being said though until the very end.
Oh yeah, the actual text that is being sent, we don't see it until
We don't
later.
see that.
It was just making sure that every single move that you could see it best, that it could really shine.
That was also one of my favorite edits. It was this really quick wide as they're swinging their arms around. I don't know, something about that was so satisfying to watch. Oh, that, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, there's something about the wiping motion in front of
Yeah,
them.
it's just like,
It just looks.
I think this is what it is. You get to see the rotation of their arms just really clearly right here. And then the next shot, as they rotate up and to the left, the camera's also kind of moving down and to the left in a similar way that their arms are. And it's just, whoop, it just feels nice, bro.
I see you. Okay.
I think that's
okay.
probably what it was. I really love this shot, sweeping around. And then you tease it, and then you get this wide where you actually see what she wrote back the entire time. I was wondering where you were.
It's such a simple text to send. It just makes you feel how much anxiety you can feel for something so small.
Yes.
That means so much. We went through a lot of options for what she said and what she wrote. And, this is what we went with in the end.
Like the whole concept reminds me of Inside Out, where like something happens in real life, and then you go inside her head. There's chaos for a little while, and then you come back out right here.
Exactly. And then we do a little. I love this shot. I mean, this shot where you see the whole set. It reminds me of The Brutalists. A little bit. I don't know. It's just such a cool framing.
This was so kind. Thank you for your time, man.
Of course, Jordan. Thanks, everyone. And feel free to ask more questions on Discord if anyone has them.
You're a king. You're an absolute generous king. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want to learn more about the mentorship program, you can check the link in the description. God bless you guys. Peace.